open up the round of 8. At Talladega Superspeedway, William Sawalich on the pole, first of his career. Off we go in Central Alabama.
Nice break there on the start for Sawalich in the one truck. He's got that bottom lane gathered up, and they're going to town.
NASCAR is saying that Ben Rhodes actually launched first. Again, it's William Sawalich. That's the control truck, and he was within the restart zone, and Ben Rhodes jumped a little bit early.
And you see him give it back. Ben definitely rolled off the gas to give it back, but in NASCAR's judgment, he jumped the start on the pole sitter, and that's not allowed. So he was charged with a drive-through penalty. Speeds. Was Ben speeding when he made his pass through?
Blend violation coming back onto the track in turn 2. The blend was not where NASCAR wanted it to be, so he has another pass-through penalty, and that will put him squarely behind the 8 ball as he exits pit road. Here comes the field.
Yeah, he will without a doubt find himself a lap down when this field catches him. Again, they're running probably 20 miles an hour faster than he is right now. Watch him go by. He has to stay on the apron till he gets to turn 2.
Up onto the racetrack. There's a banking down below the yellow line that you're supposed to run on. It's enough to hold you when you run wide open, but he didn't go down there.
And this is so challenging when you put someone in his situation, and everyone in the draft has got to maneuver around him at a much slower speed.
A lot of times we see a lot of incidents caused by that situation exactly.
Final lap, first stage, and the one thing I want everyone to keep an eye on as they come through the tri-oval, make a note of where the start-finish line is, and look out right behind Enfinger. They are dancing. Matt Mills, outside lane, takes the 42 down to the inside in front of Enfinger.
That was a solid move by Matt. I think that might have been exactly what the doctor ordered. If Matt can hang there, does Grant Enfinger slide up high in front of the 13 of Sanchez, or excuse me, Jake Garcia that's coming?
And remember, that start-finish line is not right there in the tri-oval. It's down here towards turn 1 right here.
Enfinger gives a look, but he can't get there. It's Matt Mills who wins the opening stage at Talladega. It's the first time he's been victorious in a stage and Truck Series competition. Something to watch as we return to the green flag. In fact, here he is, Taylor Gray, playoff driver, did get stage points in stage 1, unscheduled pit stop as we go green in stage 2. Sanchez, Enfinger out front.
Just don't need to make a mistake if you're Gray. You want to make sure you don't speed, make things worse. We saw that earlier when Ben Rhodes went up on the track when he wasn't supposed to, got a penalty and come back to pit road. He's been able to overcome all that, though, back on the lead lap and in the lead draft.
A nice push from Majeski to the back of Sanchez. Zilich continuing to do a nice job. 3rd truck in line on the outside, that 7 truck.
You know what I love, Phil? I want my young guy to run on the bottom, see what that feels like. Get up on top, run out there, see how your truck handles, because you're going to need to be able to use both those lanes if you're going to have a chance to go win this race.
5 playoff drivers inside the top 10. Matt Mills nearly sideways, hangs onto it in the trial.
Oh, and there's a crash.
There's Sanchez. He can't hang on. Caution out for the 2nd time today, 1st time for incident. And I said Sanchez can't hang on, but boy, he brought it around in a much better position than I thought he would. The 99 Ben Rhodes, the 77 is Chase Purdy.
There's Sanchez. You can see damage on that right side, left front. I'm going to tell you what, Connor Zilich did a nice job avoiding major contact.
And again, you know, it's relative to Taylor Gray trying to get back in line, but he didn't do anything wrong.
No.
He had to be somewhere.
And this caution will end our 2nd stage with Grant Enfinger out front. How about this? Enfinger comes into the race 11 points below the cut line. He gets 9 points in stage 1. He gets max points here in stage 2. It's his second stage win of the year and the first time he's done it in the playoffs. Let's go back and watch what unfolded.
Matt Mills right there.
And this is where it all begins. He just tries to squeeze down. Is that Stephen Parsons in the Bob Sales truck? Squeeze down in front of Stephen. They got by with that, but that just tells you how disruptive things were. And as we go up toward the front of the battle, you can see Sanchez and Zilich squeezing together. Johnny Saunders squeezes through on the outside with Ben Rhodes and Chase Purdy into the wall. I just feel like if you watch.
There's another view of Matt Mills and Stephen getting together. Nice save by Matt Mills after that contact.
Zilich just gets into the back of the 2, but watch them both just slide along. Guys slipping by on the outside. I believe those trucks are both repairable, and we know how important this draft is. They could get right back in this game, but I think that's a mistake by Zilich. A little bit more closing run than I think he thought he had on Sanchez, and he put him right into the Grand Enfinger.
You know, Michael, he may have been pushed by the 19 of Christian Eckes.
Tight. Christian Eckes sliding down to the low lane behind Daniel Dye. His teammates out front on the restart.
It looked like he wanted to get by his teammate on the inside, but Daniel shut the door.
Stephen Parsons with a big shove on the back of Grant Enfinger in that outside lane.
They don't have a lot of help up there right now, do they, Michael? Remember, the 43 of Daniel Dye started at the back of the pack. Did not make a qualifying run.
Remember, the 38 of Scott Riggs started at the back. Lane Riggs started at the back of the pack. He did not make a qualifying run. These 2 trucks now up inside the top 5.
They have crashed again. Our second crash of the day brings out our 3rd caution and some big players involved.
Yeah, you can see here coming through the tri-oval, that's Stephen Parsons we're highlighting. He's pushing hard, Jake Garcia, and Jake has to back off the gas right there when Christian Eckes pulls up, and Stephen with nowhere to go. He was right on his bumper, and here they all go crashing. See Tanner Gray into it, Matt Mills.
Connor Zilich back there, right side of your screen.
Here comes playoff driver Taylor Gray and Tyler Ankrum. All these trucks spinning. I think our 2 playoff guys here didn't have any damage to speak of.
Yeah, Jake Garcia had no choice but to back off the throttle when Eckes pulled up in front of him, and again, Stephen had no time to react.
Look at the 17 of Gray spinning in the dirt, but getting through there. I think he's going to be fine. Let's go on board with Lane Riggs and see what he sees. This is going to be a hard wreck. Bam!
Ugh. Saw Corey Heim drive by on the grass below Lane Riggs.
Makes my bones hurt just listening to it after all these years. There's the contact from the 15 into the back of Stephen, and Stephen into the back of Jake.
Yeah, they were making up good ground till Eckes pulled out in front of him. Watch Corey Heim drive by on the inside. Looked like Ankrum got down in the grass. He spun in the grass. I don't think there was any contact.
It's never over till it's over at Talladega. Here we go.
Taylor Gray up in the outside line there, also involved in a crash.
Big push on Honeycutt by Eckes on the inside line.
You know Eckes wants a do-over so bad. Shifts to the outside lane, and he's getting pushed by Sanchez. That thing is dancing around.
Talk about a push gone wrong or a block that was applied a little bit late. Let's see if we can see what happens here.
I think a push by Eckes.
Yeah, I think Eckes got into the back of Sanchez. And look at that slide. Oh, Keith McGee barely slipped by the 2 of Sanchez and into another competitor.
Here's another look at it. You see Enfinger pulls to the outside. And there's a push right there. Nick did his best to stay with it.
He did a great job of fighting that thing.
That's twice today
that
he's been involved in a crash. Now, earlier he had some contact right here, stays off of everyone, but just remarkable to execute once it gets away from you at 80 miles per hour. 9 to go in regulation. Front row, Enfinger to the inside, outside, Taylor Gray.
Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it, Adam? Let's run 9 laps, see who wins this race.
Matt Craftsman had some sort of an issue back there. You see him on the outside. That really seized up that outside line behind him.
But I predict it's going to be anything but just 9 laps and a checkered flag.
Grant Enfinger is the race leader. 1 lap to go. The next flag will end the race.
Somebody's got to pull out up in the top 5. Is it going to be Ankrum?
Yes, it is, and it's Gray.
Taylor Gray, that blue and black 17, getting the push from the 18 of Tyler Ankrum. Top 2 starting to get away. Eckes pushing Enfinger.
Look at that outside lane. Daniel Dye trying to get engaged with Ankrum. Here comes Lawless Allen.
Lawless Allen, black 33. Enfinger trying to block. Taylor Gray goes outside. Lots of momentum there. Final time through the tri-oval. Ankrum goes around. They're crashing behind Grant Enfinger, who has won for a 2nd time in his career at Talladega Superspeedway.
Ryan Reed, the 91, significant contact. The fire fortunately extinguished itself.
Well, we saw the pushing and shoving, and you knew how aggressive it was going to be. And you could see Daniel Dye at the top of the screen there pushing the 18. And right there, the 18 just runs out of places to go into the back of the 17, and Danny pushed him around. But Daniel can't see what's happening ahead of him. That's just Talladega.